ACT assessments for review. So if you were here last week, we had the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to do something similar today. Next week, we'll do our final ACT assessments here. We can just kind of look at them, share them, make sure they're ready to go for January, and then we'll talk more about maybe a little holiday party festivities for next week. So the directions for today, we have 5 stations, and we'll spend about 4 minutes at each. Line up with the feedback. So I printed out the feedback you gave at last week's PLC meeting. So you'll have the feedback and the assessment to ensure that we're ready to call the assessment good or final or ready to go. So we have Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, Act 4, and then because I think we're comfortable with Act 5, I created a lamb to the slaughter assessment on the short story. The next slide talks about the directions for that. So if you make comments or suggestions on the master copy or
Bulldogs, I need the following teachers to group 409, please. Mrs. Jones, Mr. Moeller, Miss Monroe, and Mrs. Frederick. Again, Jones, Moeller, Monroe, and Frederick. Please go to room 409.
So we make comments or suggestions. Similar to last week, I'll compile all the comments and suggestions and put them together as the feedback and share them with you. And then hopefully next week we'll have our final version. Okay. For the Act 5 station that is Lamb to the Slaughter, I did this yesterday. Hopefully you got the copy. I think I got to everyone. I gave you the reading. I think with the dialogue, I hope it's kind of short enough to where it can be done in 1 or 2 days, but do what we did with the Macbeth assessment. Changes, suggestions, additions, deletions, standards. I tried to have represented with, there's only 7 questions, but I tried to represent the standards this way, and then we'll talk at the end of our 20 minutes on commitments. So when I say go, we'll leave and move to each station to assess the assessments and make comments and suggestions. Anything I can clarify?